Okay, a special day today. Hopefully, most drummers know, but maybe they don't. Today would have been the 70th birthday of Neil Peart. Peart, however you say it. I always said Peart, but I think it's Peart. But I like Peart better. But I don't know. I never talked to him, so I don't know exactly how he said it, but I'm sure someone will tell me. But anyway, some of them know him as the professor on the drum kit from, I believe, the All the World's a Stage record, which is still one of my favorite live records of all time, where he does that great drum solo, which kind of introduced him to the world, I think, probably more than anything. If you haven't heard that drum solo, it's a great one. It's got the little like wood block or cowbell ending, kind of a thing, which was kind of famous back in the day. Anyway, but obviously there's been everybody knows, or there's all kind of videos for YYZ or Tom Sawyer or La Villa Strangiato or however you say that last part. All kinds of things. But I just thought I'd do a little happy birthday to the professor on the drum kit. And one of my favorite fills, which I never really thought of much. I learned it a while ago, and then, it's hard sometimes to fit his riffs into songs. But it's from By-Tor and the Snow Dog. It's at about the 3-minute 50-second mark, and it's one of the first fills he plays as they build up to all those great fills that he does. So I've done a video on YYZ fills, and I've done some of those and things like that. But I've never done this fill, and this is a really cool fill. But I thought I would approach this fill a little more like I approached the John Bonham rock and roll ending, where I didn't have a lot of notation on the screen, and I just tried to show you some ways to play it. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but I thought I would try it. I can put the notation. I'm reading the notation. I wrote it out this morning, today. I think it's the 12th, which is his birthday. So obviously, probably the most influential, him and Bonham, arguably you can decide between who's the most influential rock drummer of all time. I've learned tremendous amounts from both of them. The first time I heard Peart was 2112. I was in some band and someone said they needed a drummer that can play this. And I was a little cocky and said, yeah, what is it? And then he put it on. I was like, whoa, maybe not. So I remember, I think I was a freshman or a sophomore, and that was pretty impressive playing. So over the years, obviously, I've studied his stuff and worked on different things that he's done, and always been a super huge fan. I did a thing at our drum camp where we focused on his style, and we worked for 8 weeks on different fills and songs and things. So anyway, I'm going to work on the fill. It's at the 3-minute 50-second mark. I'm going to try to do it a little different. I also want to do a shout out. By the way, if you're new to my channel, click and subscribe. I got a lot of new subscribers and some great comments. And I just want to say, Brian Drums, I love this guy. He watches my videos, super positive. So thank you, Brian Drums, for all the comments that you give after watching my videos. I really appreciate it. A great name, High Castle of Tone. Some really nice comments. I appreciate all of them. Let's see. There was one guy, I can't remember who he was, but he actually said from watching my videos, he started playing drums again because he got excited about drumming. And that was a huge compliment. And I wish I could find who that was, because he commented on one of the videos, and I have many videos, so it was kind of hard to find it. But that really sort of touched me. So I appreciate that. I hope he keeps playing. And then my buddy Ron, who lives in India, who's doing great things out there and helping a lot of people, and he watches my videos, and he's a great piano player, and he plays drums also, percussion, a lot of things. But I appreciate him watching and always the nice comments. So last video was another 3-piece band from Canada, Triumph. I did a fill. And this is the fill, again, By-Tor and the Snow Dog, a great song. If you haven't heard, it's from the Fly By Night record, which is really a great album. It doesn't get mentioned as much as the others, but man, such a great one. I'll do another video sometime about how to just play over it. There's so much room to play, and I used to do that a lot. I'd put that record on, Anthem and Best That I Can, and I would just use that as my background to work all my fills out, because he's playing tons of fills, and there's room for you to work on your fills. So it was. I spent a lot of time playing the Fly By Night record. It's really a great one. And anyway, By-Tor and the Snow Dog is on there. So this fill has always been a cool one. Super fast, which is the problem. It's at about 160 beats a minute. And it's a 2-bar fill because it's flying by. And I think there's some 30-second notes. I'm going to play 3 versions of this for those students that are a little more beginner, intermediate, advanced. And we'll see, wherever you fall on the spectrum. This would be a hard song to play if you were a beginner for sure. But you might go for it, have fun trying to do it. So right now I'm going to go ahead and start the easy version. So I'm going to play it on the snare. And again, I don't think I'm going to have my normal notation. I might put it up there for some of the advanced students. But so and I will use the counting verbiage that I normally use. But basically it's... That's the groove. That would be the easy version, okay? And he builds it up with this kind of flurry of notes, and then it starts. That would be the easy version. Second, the intermediate version, he's got these flams that he puts in. And he also puts the bass drum in. So, right? You can still do that. Okay? But you add the bass. 1 and he does a cool thing with the hi-hat. That would be the intermediate version, adding the flams, adding the bass drum. That's it. Okay? So work that out. 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3, 4. 2-bar phrase. Okay, the harder version, especially because that version works really good, especially at the speed. Let's see. That's kind of it. But I think, upon listening to it a little, I think he does some 30-second notes, even at that speed. I think he plays some 30-second notes, and so I'm going to add those. Maybe he doesn't, but I think he does upon listening back. So that would be pretty hard at that tempo. I do a double with my right hand, and I do them 2 times. So I go. That's the fill. Slow. That's the advanced one, okay? So the simple one, orchestrate it however you want. That's the rhythm. Okay? Then you would do no doubles, the intermediate one, with the flams and the bass. Advanced, adding the 30 seconds. I didn't add the 30 seconds. I didn't want to add them there. No editing. Okay, but that's slow. So as we speed it up, that's still slow. It's super fast. that's the fill. It's a very cool fill. 2 bars, fast tempo, but that's it. Whatever. Lost my stick. And my favorite part is that hi-hat hit. That hi-hat hit's fantastic. Unfortunately, I'm playing the electric drums today for volume purposes, but that's my favorite part of the riff. I also like the flam between a snare and the floor tom, or whichever tom he's hitting, because he has so many. Always cool to play the flam with one hand on one drum and one on another. So you can do the, and that's the other riff to work on with the doubles. That's the part to work on. There it is. There it is, the Peart riff. By-Tor and the Snow Dog. 3 different ways. I think the first time I played it might not be exactly right, the easy way. I've just thought about the easy way, but I didn't play it much. So, boom, that would be the easy way. That'll work. Then you don't do the doubles. Then you add the doubles. And there you have it. Happy birthday, Mr. Peart. Mr. Peart. I also like when he, in that, this is a bonus for you who stayed to the end. I always liked, I learned this from him way back, I think I was in 7th or 8th grade. But him and Buddy Rich did the same thing. It's a little extra bonus thing. I saw it probably Buddy Rich do it first because I was more of, even as a young kid, I loved Buddy Rich. And I probably saw Buddy do it first. But Peart, Neil, the professor, he does it in that All the World's a Stage drum solo where he plays a series of snare notes. And he's playing that, but underneath he puts his quarter note bass drum in. Plays a series of notes, and then when he wants to kick it up a notch, he doesn't change his snare drum, he changes his bass drum from quarter notes to eighth notes. So he's playing, and then he goes, Buddy Rich did it all the time, about 5 times faster than I'm playing it. Peart did it at about that speed. A great way to fill in for solos. Fantastic. The bass drum adds so much. Quarter notes, eighth notes, with just a flurry of snare drum notes. Faster. There it is. 2 tricks of Mr. Professor on the drum kit. By-Tor and the Snow Dog. And cool solo part with the bass drum underneath. Practice, practice, practice. You'll have to if you want to play the advanced version of that. And you'd have to work on your snare drum and rudiment playing to be able to play the snare drum stuff at a tempo like he plays it at. I think most of us can forget about playing the tempo that Buddy plays it at. It's a little bit unworldly, but it's still fun to try. You don't. Another big thing is that students confuse. Big thing to remember. You don't have to play it as fast as Buddy played it, because most people can't anyway. I mean, sure, there are people who can't, but it's very rare that you're playing at that tempo. And even 160 is really fast, right, on the metronome. Unfortunately, this song is at about 160, so if you're going to play that riff, you're going to have to play it. So practice, practice, practice. Go Bears. Big win yesterday. Might be the only one all year, but well, what are we going to do? Anyway, like, subscribe, have fun. Rush, the Fly By Night album. Fantastic. Mr. Peart, 70 years old today, would have been so much music, so much stuff. There's also another great reference most people don't know. Neil played on I think it was a Scott Henderson record. No, it was a Jeff Berlin record. I don't know the name of it. Eric from MI, my buddy, he'll probably know the name of it if he can write it in the comments. But maybe Dave from Scotland. But he played on a Jeff Berlin, I don't know if it was called Champion or something. And Steve Smith played, I think, on the right channel, and Neil Peart played on the left channel, and they did a double drum thing. And it's one of the few times that you hear him playing in a different setting than Rush, because he pretty much stayed with Rush. But it's a pretty cool thing. He actually played like a trading four thing, or just a trading solo parts with Steve Smith. Tremendous bass player, Jeff Berlin, who's got tons of stuff, which always great drummers. But he had a record. Boy, I don't know if it's Crossroads or Champion. I think it's called Champion. It's very hard to find, I think. I used to have the cassette. But if anybody knows that, but that's cool because you get to hear Peart in a little bit different setting than Rush. So it's kind of fun. Probably around early 80s that came out. Jeff Berlin. Check that out. If you can find it online, let me know. Put it in the comments. Put a link to it. That'd be cool to listen to. So, anyway, practice, practice, practice. Thanks again to High Castle Tone, Brian Drums, my buddy Ron from India, and my other friend, who I call him a friend because he told me I helped him start out drumming again. So that's very cool. So keep practicing. Work on this. I had the Triumph thing a couple weeks ago. Work on that. And more fun stuff. Like, subscribe, and we'll keep you playing. All right? Oh, I'm going to do a sango. Next time up, I'm doing a sango. Now, where else do you get? Okay, you get Peart, you get Triumph. One of my favorite Afro-Cuban patterns is a sango. And everyone should know a bit of Latin. You don't have to be Tito Puente, but you need to know some Latin patterns because, oh, does it make your drumming sound great. You use it in different variations. But next up, I'm going to do a sango, so pay attention. Everybody who watches this video, I hope tons of people, but don't not watch the sango because you're like, oh, sango, it's Latin. When am I going to play Latin? I like playing Rush or Triumph or Zeppelin. That's all great. I'm telling you, the sango is a rhythm you want to add to your tool bag of drum ideas. Believe me. Next up, the sango. Absolutely fantastic. Have a great one.